Hi everybody, Bill here, still here, and this is my 100th video. And so, as promised, this is a montage of the whole journey up to this point. So if you haven't seen any of the other videos, you could just watch this one and see what's happened to me. Hi everyone, my name's Bill, and I have cancer. I have the colonoscopy at the Princess Royal Hospital, and that's where they discovered the tumour. Behind us, that is the Guy's Cancer Unit, where we've just arrived for our my first visit to the oncology team. All these tablets, that's 5 weeks worth there. If there are any nasty side effects. So, keep watching and I'll let you know. So this is the slab I keep talking about, and that's where I lie down. And with a piece of paper across my nethers. It does feel almost like you're heating up after the radiation treatment, but it's okay. Still continent, which is quite important, isn't it? Yeah, if I'm weeing, it feels a bit hot sometimes. It's almost like the radiotherapy, the radiation waves are heating up the contents of your bladder. It's still here, I'm still here, and I hope I'll still be here for quite a while. And when I get the all clear, we all cheer. And along the way I try to stay upbeat and wear a smile. Have the odd micro nap, maybe, on the train. I don't even really notice I'm doing it though. There's enough gas going on inside there, which could probably solve the energy crisis, quite honestly. Yeah, better go, because the ice block's melting now. Wash your backside. It gets high. Whoops, you see how it can go quite high. No, it's not bad. 50 quid for that, is it? No, so you just press the button and wait. Might need a little bit of adjusting. Oh yes, I've got something to show you here. After the surgery, I expect it will be very uncomfortable sitting down. Hope you're still checking your poo. Make sure you do that. Don't end up like me.
Oh, not feeling good today. You can tell I'm not very well. Helen noticed there was water leaking through our dining room ceiling. I've had no central heating since the 22nd of November, so we're wrapped up really warm. It's been really cold, it's miserable. Someone said to me there'd be good days and bad days. Well, this has been a bad month. As men always get colds a lot worse than women. It's a proven fact. I don't want to get a debate about it, but it's the case. We suffer worse. And then all the lights fuse in the house. What? It's darkness. Had my MRI scan in that tube for about 40 minutes. Trying to stay still when you're trying to sneeze is not much fun.
Do you expect me to talk? No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die.
Was it worth it? Yes, it was. I've gone from a stage 3. Do you remember stage 3 at the beginning? Stage 4 is the highest. I was stage 3. It's gone from a stage 3 down to a stage 0/1. Which means on the MRI scan, they can't even see the tumour. I've still got to have surgery, but it's fantastic news. Well, I'll take that. Goodness me. I thought I was going to be exit stage left at one point, so it's fantastic. I am going to live. I'm going to live. There might be slight changes to my lifestyle, but I'm going to live. And sort of get stuck on your stomach, and then it fills up, and look, you can go to the loo, and you can just empty it out like that. Job done. Job done, as it were. She put a couple of marks on my stomach, and also because apparently the hospital bans which has your name and details go missing, she had to write my name on my forehead as well, which is apparently the latest thing. Well, here I am, waiting for my surgery, seen the surgeon, signed consent forms, signing my life away, and just seen the anaesthetist. He's going to give me an epidural, which makes my legs go heavy, and that's an injection in the spine. And then after that, he'll put me out with morphine for, he reckons, 12 hours. It will give me relief for 12 hours. Operations up to 6 hours, possibly. I think it's likely that I'm going to get an ileostomy, which is he's going to aim for reversal, but it may not happen. Ability to be continent is not going to be good, so it may well end up being a permanent colostomy at some point in the future. Hey, happy days. Anyway, I better go. I'm going to switch my phone off now and try and enjoy the morphine, I guess. back home. Yeah, it was tough. Now, I was 6.5 hours in surgery. My surgeon is a lovely chap, but he's got big hands. And I've got a narrow pelvis. And he told me that it was a very tricky operation for him to get his hands into my pelvis to rummage around. He took my appendix out for good measure. You don't need that. Pain, yes, it was painful. But yeah, it was a very uncomfortable night, first night, and the first day was quite difficult. But I was up and about the next day, walking up and down the corridor of the hospital. Surgical stockings on all the time. They compress your calves to try and reduce the risk of you getting blood clots. 28 days without removing the stockings, apart from washing. I've got Clexane injections. I have to administer myself into my stomach for 28 days too, every day. They are blood thinners, and well, one of the side effects with me was my gentleman's jewels. I think I had a bad reaction to that catheter because honestly, Billy Smart could have been on the phone to me because I could have joined the circus. There is an elephant somewhere in Africa wandering around with a very, very small trunk, I think. Okay, I've got the bag. I'm getting used to that. It's okay. It's much better than I thought it was going to be. It doesn't smell. That is naming your stoma. So Helen, all credit to you. She's come up with the name Donald. I'm going to call it Donald. Why? Because it trumps all the time. It's not healthy, but this is what I've got to eat. It's completely opposite of what I normally have. Somebody's got all this in for me. Oh, look, it's my special nurse carer. There she is, Helen. You just pass me by, you still make me cry. You can make my whole again. Look, I take my little bag in with me. They give you this, full of all your stoma products. It's the type of bag I'm going for at the moment. It's the little black number. Very sleek. It's quite discreet. It's much better than the see-through ones. Yeah, you don't want those. Sign me up with this company, Fittleworth, who will send me the products on a regular basis. And 13.5 stone when I went in, and this morning when I weighed myself, 12 stone 10. Yeah, £9 is a big loss, isn't it? I need to think of some way of keeping it off, keeping the waistband away from my appendix scar. And the only one I come up with is Viagra. As long as all the liquid's gone into your body, then you can take the syringe out and then push the plunger down, which clicks out the protection. Went to see my surgeon yesterday, Mr. Danko Kostadinov. Yeah, it's really lovely to see him again. He has not got big hands at all. He is in perfect proportion to the size of his body. I may have exaggerated the size of his hands for comic effect. The good news is that the pathology reports have come back. It's all good. All the cancerous tissue has hopefully been removed from me. That's what I thought was my appendix scar, the sort of horizontal scar on my groin. It's not at all. What that is, it's the exit wound, if you like. So that's where they pull out the bad stuff out of you. Yeah, pain. I am still in pain. I'm getting this shooting pain up my backside. Why can't I have a pig's rectum transplanted into me? What animal would you choose to have? Pain. Been a lot of pain. I might look a little bit tired because I haven't been sleeping at all. Really, it's been a good week or so now, and the pain's been getting worse and worse. They gave me a CT scan. The doctor said to me, yeah, could you just go stand by the window there and bend over? And I said, what is that, so you can see better, like to inject the dye? He said, no, it's just that we don't like the woman who lives opposite there. The radiologist thinks there might be a leak. So where they've joined the two bits of my bowel together at the bottom, it's all stapled up, all neatly. They were worried that there was a bit of a leak going on there. So some of this mucousy deposit or whatever's in the bowel is leaking out into my bloodstream. And maybe that's what was causing the pain. I went in this morning to the endoscopy. No, the colonoscopy. I could see for myself that there is, like, you can see where the join is, and you can see one or two staples sort of obviously there. And I think that is the point where there is a bit of a leak. I'm hoping that the antibiotics work. If he hadn't put that ileostomy into me, to protect the bowel as it is healing, then I would have had normal poo leaking into my body. I mean, that is potentially life-threatening. So that is the importance of having the ileostomy. Back in hospital, I'm afraid. Ended up on the ambulatory ward. It's like someone shoving a knife up your backside and twisting it about. A real spasm of pain. His ghost still haunts that corridor as he's pacing up and down. So I am a little bit worried about the caravan in our back garden. I don't know where it's come from, we didn't have one before, but yeah, this wind's been blowing everything. Been in for 5 days, which is actually longer than I was in for the surgery itself. Might as well be at home than in hospital if you're going to be in pain, mightn't you? 12% of people who have the sort of operation that I have end up with the sort of complications I think that I've got. So I've got all those antibiotics to continue to try and solve this problem before I start the chemo. Here's a top tip for you. A simple marker pen. Make your surgical stockings a little more interesting. Yeah, little black line up the back. And it shot across the road, right across the pavement where I was walking, ploughed into the hedge behind me. If I'd been just a few feet further back on that pavement, I don't think I'd be here today. No reaction from me. I thought I was pretty calm about the whole thing. Until some dash cam footage was released from... I've been doing an awful lot better recently. I had several days now where I've had no tablets, no pain relief at all. I'm doing more exercise. In the morning I'm getting up, making sure I'm doing lots of stretches, trying to get the core strength a bit better. They talk about you getting blocked up if you have too much fibre. I haven't noticed any problems. As long as that colonoscopy goes okay on Saturday, we can start the plans for the chemotherapy. I've now got less than 3 lymph nodes affected. That means I only need the 3 months of chemo. I haven't been well, you know. Anyway, I thought I'd try a new look to see whether it makes me look a bit younger. Yes, pain's been good. Yeah, a lot better. And eating well, eating more and more fibre. We even had a curry the other night, a chicken tikka masala. Delicious it was. It's a bit like a chicken tikka masala, but it's a little hotter. I went to the Princess Royal Hospital for my sigmoidoscopy. And Danko was just about to stick the camera up my backside. They said, oh, hold on, we're just going to put on a little bit of music. And do you know what they played? You Can Make Me Whole Again. It's a lot better. And I could see on the camera where it's a much tighter seal. We still don't know for sure whether it's going to be a reversible thing. With a very reduced capacity to retain stuff. You'll be running off to the toilet every few minutes and nobody wants that. Got myself up to Guy's this morning, to the cancer unit there. But the PIC is a peripherally inserted central catheter into the bicep here and up close to my heart or into my heart, one or the other, up a vein. Hand washing, very important to keep the bacteria away from this PIC line. Everyone thinks I'm always hatching a dastardly plan. I'm always washing my hands. God, I wish I could think of who I reminded myself of in that wig. And look where I am, back at the Guy's cancer unit. Yeah, 6 months ago, I was standing in this very spot with Helen. And here I am for my first session of the chemotherapy. That's the K-pox. Was it as bad as I thought it was going to be? Yeah, it wasn't too bad at all, actually. Definitely the sensitivity to the cold, which is, I think, my throat's already sounding a bit hoarse, which was another side effect. I had these gloves on. I'm glad I took those because everything was really sensitive to touch. It's like I've got pins and needles in all my fingers now, and I've got to be very careful about drinking cold stuff and touching cold things. This evening I'm starting on the capecitabine tablets again. I've got to have 8 of those every day. That's the other tablet form of chemotherapy. See that? That's the PIC line. That's the new dressing. That thing there is the... that's where they plug you in. We're only like 2 hours later. Look at me. It's like an electric shock if I touch anything that's not room temperature. The best thing to do is set yourself reminders. Hey, Google, do I have any reminders set?
You have 1 reminder. Today at 8 p.m. Take tablets.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Fish face stinky stoma crap bag.
Well, that's nice. One potential nasty side effect of chemo to look out for is a very sore mouth and lips. Just to have a look, yeah. Just check your mouth, make sure there's nothing unusual. Nothing that needs to be reported. Luckily, I'm okay so far. The neuropathy, the tingling in the hands. And you can probably tell my throat is quite hoarse and sore. I feel it in my fingers, I feel it in my toes. I'm not a great singer, I know that, and it's all for a bit of fun, but this is a very important public announcement for you. Hey, look at me, I've lost half my bowel from cancer surgery, and a bag on my tongue takes the place of my bum, and I'm nauseous from the chemotherapy. Now look at you. Do you check for blood each time you use the loo? Because it doesn't take a minute just to turn and see what's in it, and it might just save your life if you do. So yeah, it's not all one big picnic, and I know I try to be positive, but I just want to give you the other side of it. It's not too, I mean, as for this aromatherapy stick, I'm not sure about that either. Be able to read it. There we go. What? Oh, for goodness sake. But actually now, I'm less worried about getting the virus because I've had all my chemo treatments, had all my radiotherapy appointments. By the way, I've kept every single one. I haven't failed to attend one appointment, and I've taken every single tablet. Do you know, these tablets, 728 tablets. And this is now the 23rd of June, and these are the last 4 tablets. Yeah, that was 4 rounds of intravenous chemo as well as the tablets, and the first round was alongside the radiotherapy. So 728 tablets. Didn't throw up once. Proud of that. Felt a bit nauseous, but never got to that point. Yeah, the metallic taste in the mouth still there. A bit of neuropathy, the tingling. I'm hoping that's all going to disappear soon. Feeling pretty good actually. So, all done. How great that is. So, bottoms up everybody. If you're lucky enough to have one, you're very good health. Just had a call from Dr. Harris, the oncology doctor at Guy's, and it's good news. I am cancer free. Well, it's the morning after I got the good news. It's the 9th of July. Yesterday I got the news I was cancer free. We had a bit of an evening last night, nothing heavy, just sat in the garden, just Helen and I, and had a couple of drinks. And this morning I've taken a COVID test and I'm positive. It's one thing after another, isn't it? COVID log, stardate 10th of July, bit of a shivery night, slight temperature, got still a bit of a sore throat, and could feel, yeah, you know when you feel like you need paracetamol, that's how I feel. COVID log, stardate 11th of July, oh, bad night, fever, oh, temperature, feel sick, oh, it's horrible. COVID log, stardate 12th of July. Oh, I thought I was getting better actually last night. When I went to bed, I wasn't too bad. But then at 2 o'clock in the morning, honestly, I've never shaken so much, like with fever. It was like someone had plugged me into the mains. I was absolutely shivering so much. It was just horrible. Yeah, it's really not pleasant, this at all. COVID log, stardate 13th of July. Well, I'm feeling a lot better this morning. I got those drugs,
This is what they are. Took the first dose last night, and I had a better night. I did wake up drenched in sweat, not very pleasant, but yeah, not the same fever. And this morning I was able to actually get out of bed without dragging myself out of bed, and don't feel so nauseous or anything like that. Yeah, who did a positive yesterday? Helen. Day one for her yesterday, so she's now got it. I just hope she doesn't get it as badly as I do, because I know most people seem to have it very mildly. COVID lot, no, it's wearing thin, isn't it? 15th of July, it's day 6, and I've just done my first negative test. So I've had something from the NHS telling me I'm negative and I can go out and mingle and everything. Not that I couldn't anyway, but obviously the right thing to do if you know you've got COVID isn't to go and spread it around the world. So I will have, whatever happens, whether it's a reversal or whether it's a colostomy, I will have a normal bottom. Well, which is nice, because I know a lot of people do actually have those, their backsides, their anuses removed, or their ani. Is that the plural of an anus? I don't know, ani. And what do they do with them? The mind boggles. I just got back from the hospital, had a CT scan this morning with the dye, you know, when they checking to make sure that there's no leakages. This is like the final check before the reversal operation, really, because meanwhile, I will carry on working hard on those pelvic floor exercises, which you've got to do, because you need to maximise your chance of retaining the stuff when the tubes are reconnected. And the thing is, you can do that wherever. No one knows you're doing it. I've even been doing it throughout this whole vlog, and you wouldn't know, would you? If I'm looking knackered, it's because I am. Because, you know, I've been working out a lot. I've been trying to keep fit, get as fit as I possibly can to aid my recovery after the surgery. You've got to do what you can to stay active, haven't you? Trouble is, it was actually probably more like this. Anyway, so I'm going to wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Feeling pretty good, and yesterday I was up and about, walking up and down, drinking lots of water, 3 litres of water. So yeah, it's fine. I'm not in a lot of pain or discomfort, and I did a little bit of a video when I came round from the operation, just like I did last time, without the bag. So yes, I'm a Dyson, I'm bagless once again. The surgeon came to see me a bit earlier because my temperature had gone up, my body temperature. And they took blood samples and sent them off, and my infection levels have shot up. So he is worried that the joint has failed, and he's sending me for x-rays to see whether that is the case. And if that is the case and the joint has failed, then he's going to have to reoperate. Last night I had a reasonable night, lots of antibiotics they've given me, so if there was any infection it sorted it out. Felt a lot better this morning, and yeah, all day I've been feeling good. The blood samples apparently have come back as okay. I think the infection levels have come down, so don't know what it was, a blip, but the recovery is now made and it's all good. Oh yeah, I saw Danko this morning. Danko, bless him, he came in and he looked quite worried again. He came in and he said, "How are you?" And I said, "I feel all right, I feel good." And he said, "Oh, thank God." He said, well, yes, got out of hospital yesterday. Helen came to pick me up at about 5:30. Got back to the house, unpacked. Had a first night here, it sort of went okay. Do you remember I said that Danko, the surgeon, was worried? Well, my infection levels, going to take your blood all the time, and that's how they determine whether you've got raised infection levels. Mine were 55 times higher than they should be. I promoted myself to a type 6, which is fluffy pieces with ragged edges.
a mushy stool. So I was patting myself on the back about that one. Excuse me. That's me man flu. So anyway, the aim is, apparently my target is to get up to a type 4, which is passing type 5, which will be soft blobs with clear cut edges, which are passed easily. Straight on to this fella here, which is like a sausage or a snake, smooth and soft. So that's, you know, that's the nirvana in the poo world, according to, well, people who come from Bristol, I suppose. So don't believe all these scare stories on the internet. Do not believe them. It's not bad so far. If you're thinking about a reversal, have it, for crying out loud. I know everyone's going to be different, but so far so good. I'm going to leave it at that, because I usually... Where's my bell? Helen! Where's my bell? Helen! It's passing time again, man, you know. Thinking of the day when stools fall. Easy, it's easy. Living on the toilet. Oh boy, I'm having fun. Living on the toilet. Examining the things I've done. Living on the toilet. Counting up the bathroom tiles. Waiting for my day to come when I get piled. Waiting for my day to come when I get... Oh, I can't do that there, can I? Hey Bill, where you going with that toy low in your hand? Well, I think it's probably pretty obvious actually where I'm going, because I've been spending quite a lot of time going there lately. I mean, I would say the last couple of days I'm probably going maybe 15 times a 24-hour period, and of course it's night times. That's the main problem. Night times are an issue, because when you go to sleep, obviously you lose a bit of control, and it's not difficult to have an accident. My bum is getting so sore. Do you remember that baboon in one of the early vlogs I did with the big red bottom? It does feel like that. That's it. Hopefully next time I'll be into a better rhythm and even more happy than I am now. Big day today, because the old surgical stockings have come off, so you have to wear them for a month after your operation, and today marks the end of that month. Daytime's all right. I'm coping all right in the day. Generally, yeah, I can go for walks, I can go for stints away. Probably I'm comfortable to go for maybe an hour or two away from a toilet without panicking too much. But that's about as much as I would like to give it at the moment. Nights are the problem. Definitely night time. I don't like nights. I don't look forward to night times, because I get this really terrible burning, real awful burning sensation in my backside. I thought it was piles. I said this before to you, and there's no doubt that it is quite swollen down there because of all the use it's getting, but I'm not so sure now. I felt from my own doctor Googling that this was what they call an anal fissure. Yes, an anal fissure, which is a little tear inside the rectum in that area. The doctor's opinion was it's not an anal fissure. He said that tends to be when you're constipated and you get a tear in the lining. I don't think I don't think I'm constipated, that's for sure. I don't know what it is. I wonder if it's like an allergic reaction to something I'm eating, because in the evenings, honestly, the burning sensation is really, really uncomfortable. Really uncomfortable, to the point where, you know, I'm like crawling around the room. Poor old Helen has to sort of watch me behaving like an absolute child when I'm like that. But so there we are. Yeah, it's not fantastic. I am still pleased I had the reversal, but I'm still hoping this is early days, and I've got to keep soldiering on. How am I getting on with the toilet? Yeah, well, it's still the frequency that's the issue. Still going a lot. Counted 22 times a few days ago, 22 times in a 24-hour period, and 10 of those at night time. It's hard, okay? It's difficult. I have been struggling. It's the pain. I know I'm banging on about this pain, the molten lava burning, and it's no better. It's really, really not. I have to admit, I was suffering. I was in tears. I was crying. I was actually on the phone to the parental nurses, crying in the pain that I was suffering and feeling really miserable and down. The end result is they contacted Danko, the surgeon, and he said, come and see me. Yeah, I have an anal fissure. That is my problem. That's why I've been in so much pain, because every time I go to the loo, it's blooming agony. It's because of a tear in my backside. I'm back in hospital again. Hell of a 24 hours. Yesterday, got these terrible griping pains in my stomach, which led to terrible nausea and really, really horrible throwing up all night. Just bile left. I was that bad at home. I've never done it before, but I said I think I need an ambulance. Had a CT scan, I'm waiting for the results of that. But I've just been told that they're going to keep me in, but they're going to put a tube down my nose into my stomach because they think there's a blockage there and they need to drain the blockage. I've just done it. Shoved this thing out down my nose, down my throat, so you could feel it in the throat. And my God, it is horrible. They say they've checked the scan and there is a small blockage, a blockage in my small intestine. It's been a miserable couple of days because this is going to keep the sun off my head on our holiday in Spain later this year. Comes with instructions, no doubt tell me all about sun factor and wearing sun cream and things. So yeah, just kidding, of course. Yeah, but this did come from Helen. Thank you, Helen. It's look, it's a bum bath. So I'm going to the loo, and every now and then it's Still no regrets about having the reversal. And if you're in the same position as I am, and you're lucky enough to be given the option to have a reversal, then I still say go for it. It's nice to go back to one bottom than having the two, like the one in my stomach. I'm pretty sure someone I used to work with, Paul, I'm sure Paul had two bottoms, but I never knew for sure because he didn't broadcast it. The only reason I know is because Paul and Dave and me used to go to the pub at lunchtime, and Paul would always be the first one to go to the bar and get the drinks in. And once, I'm absolutely sure I heard the bar lady say, oh look, here comes that bloke with the two arseholes. You could direct them wherever you want then. You could be listening to a conversation over that way and a conversation over that. If you're in a pub or something, that'd be fun, wouldn't it? If you're sitting at a table in the pub or a restaurant, you know, you're thinking, what are they saying over there? So you're listening to that way, but then you're listening that way as well. Yeah. How do you patent something? Well, it's tree pollen season, isn't it? So the old sneezing going on. Well, don't sneeze. You can use one of these and just let it all flow. I'm patenting this idea. It's fantastic. Fantastic. I have been going to the loo about up to 100 times a week. Can you imagine that? 100 times a week. And my saviour again is loperamide. It is I'm relying on it so much now. I'm taking up to 8 tablets a day. So I've started this exercise regime. Actually move around on the toilet, gets things going. I should have one of those workout videos, Bill's workout videos on the toilet. And if I'm really careful, if I creep, try not to wake up my bum, I think I can keep it asleep, and I can almost fool it into thinking that I'm just sort of still sleeping, but I'm actually creeping out for a wee. How do you cancel a patent? It's not a workout video, it's a new sort of video. I'm going to call it the work it out video, because it's all designed for the toilet, to keep things moving. Because yes, there are days when I'm still going to the loo so many times. Because I've been feeling pretty good the 2 days before, I was hoping it would continue. Big mistake. I must have gone to the loo 20 times that day, and we stayed overnight. I slept on a beanbag downstairs, and I was up and down every 20 minutes or so. It was a rotten, miserable night. It feels like, it's like I'm a tube of toothpaste. That's what I feel like. I feel like I'm a tube of, I could be sponsored by Colgate, and I'm going to have to make my own way to the hospital. But at least I thought it would give me a chance to try out the new bicycle. And the results, well, explains everything really. Why have I been suffering all that horrible burning sensation? Because they found it's ulcerated. There's a bit of ulcer in the pipework there. This is the course of 7 enemas. It is my birthday on Monday. I'm actually 58 on 58. Yes, you can tell how old I am from the lines on my forehead. You like the rings on a tree, you just count them up. Might go all the way down to my feet. It was a bad one. I had a rotten birthday and I was in agony on the toilet, feeling dreadful, and it carried on throughout the day, really rotten. I think it was in that very morning that I called the colorectal nurses in a state saying, please help me, because I'm in such a lot of pain. Can you just please help me out? Basically, I'm low priority now. You see, that's good, isn't it? You know, it's good. Obviously, I don't have cancer any longer, and that's a good thing. But because I haven't, I'm low down the pecking order when it comes to getting help. And the fact that I'm suffering pain, well, no one died of pain, did they? Well, I'm going to start with some positive news. Yay! Saving me a fortune, absolute fortune, because I am still going to the loo a lot. I don't even count anymore, and I don't even mind that. It's the pain that I object to. It's the pain, and it's just so painful. Acid molten lava, like broken glass up your rectum. You're trying to get rid of it. There's no blood. There's nothing. It's just the most horrible, uncomfortable feeling. I'd say the bad days probably worse than the good days now. Just can't face doing anything because I don't want to be away from the comfort of my own home, the toilet, my absolute saviour, the bidet. Oh. Well, good morning. Here we go again. This is the daily routine now. This is what I have. I mean, that's what I start my day with. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tablets. From a statistical point of view, if you get cancer, 4 million out of 8 billion people in the world die this year so far. That's not bad odds. So it's not the end of the world. That's what I'm saying. At least, hey, I'm still here. Bill is still here. It's just that I've got to get to grips with a new way of living. I am feeling a lot better. I'm having a good day today, and I've had a really good few days. I met up with some good old friends that I haven't seen for a long, long time. These are my friends, everybody. I wanted you to see what a positive day I'm having. Look, I've got Fossey there. Hey, give everyone a wave. Hey, there's someone special was sending a message out to, but we're not going to mention who it is, are we?
No.
We're just going to sort of let you know that we're having a lovely time. I was prescribed this cholestyramine. I mentioned that last time. They come in sachets. That's a Freudian slip. They come in sachets. They reduce the bile in your body, and I'm hoping that means it reduces the acidity that's going through the exit. Bit of shameless plugging. There we go. Should have had this in all through the video, shouldn't I? Look, this is my channel. If you subscribe, then I get more followers, and also that makes me very happy, for one thing. But also, if you subscribe to the channel, it's free, it doesn't cost anything. Just click on the subscribe and you can get notifications if you ask for them, to tell you every time I put a new video on. So you never need to miss one. It's probably a good reason not to subscribe. Anyway, up to you. I had a call yesterday from a lady called Amy. Amy is a psychologist, and I said, to be honest, I think I've got a problem mentally, psychologically. My problem is the pain. She's going to approach the pain team. So there are a bunch of people who deal exclusively with pain, and she's going to get them maybe to give me a call. I think she might be referring me to some sort of gastro team, which has got nothing to do with the cancer side of it. That's just the gastro team who may know how to cope with that pain and the discomfort.